Yo, what's going on, peoples? How's everybody doing? So what I wanted to talk about today was basically why I ended up going to prison. Right? I was a correctional officer at the time. This guy that was a correctional officer with me, we were both sergeants at the time. And it's like when I met him, he always wanted me to come to his neighborhood. He was always like, yo, come to my neighborhood, come to my city. It was a little town, like a country town in Georgia called Jessup, right? But he always wanted me to come. He's like, yo, I want you to come to my town. Let me show you, a good time. So anyways, I was going through a little personal situation at home at the time. So I was like, you know what? All right, fuck it, cool, let's go. I'll go to your little town. So I go to his town, we chilling. He comes and picks me up. I leave my car at home because I know I was gonna be drinking. So he comes and picks me up, we go to his house. We start the party there, we start drinking at his house. We go from his house to this bar called the Jaeger House. It was in Jessup, Georgia. And it was a little neighborhood, like their neighborhood, but it literally sat in the middle of nowhere, like in the middle of the woods. It was on a highway where no lights was at. Like, it was just a dead area. But that was the country. That was how it looked. So we go there. We get to, partying, having a few drinks. This girl ends up showing up that I used to mess with. And it wasn't my plan to have her there. I'm not gonna lie. He set it up without me knowing. But anyway, she shows up. Me and this girl was drinkers. Like, when we chilled together, we drank. We drank, fifths of liquor together, just me and her. We partied with people. We all drunk pretty heavy. So when she gets there, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I ain't got no choice. So she buys a drink, or they buy her a drink, my bad. They buy her a drink. She sits at the table we were sitting at. They bought my 2 drinks. They bought her drink. I bought my Corona. They bought the liquor. Like, if I had 2 Crown and Cokes, I was double fisting. She had a whatever drink she was drinking, but just 1 drink. So we sitting there, listening to the little music that was playing, and we talking and conversating. Anyway, one of his boys that he introduced me to, when I got there, he comes up to me. He's like, yo, is that your girl? I'm like, nah, that's not my girl. But me and her do have a, situationship. So he was like, oh, word, okay. So, do you mind if I talk to her? I was like, nah, if she wants to talk to you, by all means, she can do what she wants. So he was like, all right. That was it. So I'm sitting there, I smoked cigarettes at the time. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna step outside and smoke me a cigarette. So I step outside to smoke, leave my drinks at the table with her. I come back in, and literally her drink's done, and she's passed out, like sleep on the table. I'm like, damn. So in my head, I was like, yo, she must have been drinking before she came here. And okay, cool. I was like, you know what? I ended up taking her home. You know what I'm saying? So I grabbed my 2 drinks, and I downed both the Crown and Cokes. No, at the time, like I said, I was a drinker. I drink, when it comes to liquor, I drink pretty heavy. But I can hold my own, you know what I'm saying? If not, I'm with somebody that I know is gonna get me where I need to go, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I drank my 2 drinks. I started drinking the Corona, sitting there, just watching her basically sleep on the table. My boy comes up to me, he's like, yo, I gotta take, the guy who took me there, he's like, yo, I gotta take my girl home, his wife. She's bugging out, she's drunk, she's being belligerent. So I was like, all right, well, we'll all leave. And he was like, no, I want to still stay out. So I'm going to take her home and then I'll come back. You just stay here. So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. He lived like 10 minutes away. I was like, no problem. So boom, he leaves. I'm standing there, drink, sipping on my Corona, and I started feeling mad lightheaded, mad, like, dizzy. I'm like, damn. So I get up, I go to the, I go outside again, light me a cigarette. I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to shake it. Cause at the time, I'm thinking in my head, like, damn, I ain't even drink that much neither. Like, I had like maybe 4 or 5 beers at his house, and then the 2 drinks with the beer. So I'm like, damn, that's okay, but I'm feeling lightheaded, whatever. Next thing you know, I look up and I see the bouncer that worked there and the guy that he introduced me to dragging the girl out. Like literally, she sleep and they carrying her out. So I walk up, I'm like, yo, where y'all going? They were like, oh, we taking her home. And I'm like, well, I got her keys. So how y'all taking her home? They were like, oh no, we're gonna take her home, you know, she's good. I'm like, nah, okay, well, we could get in her car and go to this dude's house. The one like I said, I'm not gonna mention names. We go to the dude that I came to, we go to his house. Like, I'm with him tonight, you know what I'm saying? I'm staying at his house so she could come with us because she's pop. She lives an hour away. There's no way y'all don't even know where she lives. So, you know, I felt like it was a little shady there, cool. Dude got mad, they ended up putting her in the back seat. I hop in the passenger seat, give him the keys, he crank up. He start peeling all out the parking lot. I'm like, yo, chill, bro, this ain't even your whip, relax. But he mad. Next thing you know, drive a couple miles down, whatever, crash. We hit another car, they shoot out the road, somebody dies in their car. We flip a couple of times, end up on the hood, slide fucking 500 feet, you know. So then, I think I might have passed out for a minute because of the crash. So I wake up and I look over and it's just me in the front. He's gone. But now I'm like, since I hit my head or whatever and I passed out, I'm thinking it's just me in the car. So I climb out. When I climb out, I go to the back of the car and I don't even see the girl laying out the back windshield. I'm just sitting there like, damn, what the hell happened? I'm looking around, I don't know where I'm at. I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm looking around. Next thing you know, I start hearing the sirens. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. When they come, we'll figure this out. When they come, state trooper comes up to me. He's like, yo, what's going on? Who was driving? I was like, I don't even know who was driving. He was like, what do you mean? He was like, was it you or was it her? When he said her, that's when I looked. And I was like, oh, shit. They were like putting her on a stretcher. So I walk up to her. I'm like, yo, you good? You good? The state trooper start grabbing me. And I snatch away. I'm like, yo, don't grab me, bro. I'm trying to make sure she's all right. He's like, no, I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you. I need to know who was driving. I was like, I told you, I don't know who was driving. Why you keep asking me that? You know, figure it out. So I'm talking to her, and then he grabs me again. So I kind of like push back and like straight on him a little bit. He tripped over his foot. He hit the floor. When he hit the floor, he jumped up mad. You already know. And he's a state trooper, so he feel like he bigger than a regular city cop. So he grabbed me, pushed me up on the car. Oh, you going to jail? I'm charging you with everything. I don't give a fuck who was driving. I'm charging you with everything. That's exactly what he said to me. So I'm like, whatever, do your thing. You know, he handcuffs me. He takes me to the hospital because I denied him to the DUI tester, you know, where you blow in the machine. I denied that. So he takes me to the hospital, gets my blood drawn. I was drunk, obviously. And so then he takes me to jail. And for some reason, me, like, when I'm drinking heavy or drinking and I get a nice, you know, a nice fill, once I go to sleep, there's things I forget when I wake up the next day. And then on top of that, being in that accident, hitting my head, whatever. So I wake up in the county jail, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So I hit the buzzer, because they got the little buzzer on the wall. I hit the buzzer, I'm like, yo, you know, what am I doing here? What happened? And they were like, oh, we can't tell you, you know, you gotta wait till what is the investigator? You gotta wait till the investigator comes, they'll let you know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, whatever. The dude who I went to the club with that night ends up bringing my baby mom to the county jail. He knew all the county sheriffs and all that. So, cause you know, we were both correctional officers. He ends up bringing her to the county jail. They let me see her real quick. So I'm like, yo, what happened? I'm asking her. She's like, yo, you killed somebody. So I'm like, what? I was like, but I wasn't even driving. I knew that much. No matter what, I knew I wasn't driving. And then I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I was like, yo, you know what, man? If that's what they charging me with, you might as well forget it. We in the South. This is Georgia. They're gonna fry me. They're gonna hang me. So I was like, yo, you might as well just forget about everything, bro. So anyway, she leaves. Investigator comes. He gives me my charges. Homicide by vehicle, 2 counts of serious injury by vehicle, reckless driving, and DUI. Those were my 5 charges. I think I had like a couple more, but they ended up dropping them and just charging me with the 5. So the first 3 is felonies. 1 carries up to 15. The other 2 carry 10 apiece. The DUI is a year, and the reckless driving is a year. All right? So that's 37 years right there. All right, keep that in mind. So then, boom. I'm sitting there. I'm not thinking I'm gonna get a bond, nothing. I'm in there a couple days. Next thing you know, they give me a bond. When they give me a bond, I call my mom. My mom calls my sister, my little sister. They end up bonding me out. Boom, I get out. Now I'm talking to my baby mom, like, yo, where's my phone? Like, I had my pager on me, which, you know, I was on the tactical squad, so we got pagers just in case a situation happened in the prison. They'll page us. We show up, handle business. Anyways, so I'm like, yo, where's my phone at? And she's like, your boy got your phone. And I'm like, huh? How did he get my phone? She was like, I don't know. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I don't understand how he got my phone. So I'm like, all right. I get home. I hit him up for my baby mom's phone. I'm like, yo, like, bring me my phone. He's like, all right, I'll swing by after work, whatever. So he comes to my house and he gives me my phone. I said, yo, how'd you get my phone? He was like, oh, you left it in my truck. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, not thinking. I'm like, all right. So then he leaves. I'm sitting there trying to figure everything out. Next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? This is crazy. I know I had my phone on me. So what I did, I subpoenaed the, I basically contacted the phone company, said I need records of all my phone calls. So they give me the records, and yo, lo and behold, that's when when my little thoughts was like, yo, this dude is playing me. So when I get my records, my phone records, it shows that, because you know, on the police report and everything, it tells me the time of the accident. All right. On my phone records, it shows that a call was made from my phone to his phone after the accident. Right. So now my brain is wandering. I'm like, yo. So I call him back. I'm like, yo, you said I left my phone in your car, but my phone was used after the accident. So he was like, oh yeah, I thought you left it in the car, but now I remember the state trooper gave me your phone. I'm like, so you came to the accident? He was like, nah. This is what he said first. When I first got there, back to the bar, they told me you left. So I was like, I just thought that I knew the way you was gonna go, so I followed the way you was gonna go. I didn't see you, so I went home. And then he's like, then they called me and told me there was an accident, and I came back and to the scene, but didn't see nothing. It was just like they had me back so far that I couldn't see you or nothing. So, and then the state trooper gave me your phone. I'm like, come on, really? But when he tells a statement to the state troopers, he says that I left my phone in his truck. So now I'm my mind's starting to go crazy, and I'm like, nah, that don't seem right. That don't seem right. So as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yo, you know what? You know what I feel happened? Because I remember who was driving. Like, after a while, my mind started, you know, clearing up, and I started remembering little bits and pieces. So I'm like, nah, this dude was driving. Then I'm like, yo, a phone call was made after we got in an accident. This dude was driving. This guy ends up with my phone. So to me, you know, my mind's wandering. I'm like, yo, when we left, we got in an accident. Dude found my phone, grabbed it, called this dude. Because, you know, back then, they didn't have locks on your phone. It was flip phones. You open it up and dial the number. Called this dude. This dude came and picked him up from the scene, bounced with him, kept my phone so that dude wouldn't be implicated at all. And that was the story he gave me. Straight up, that was the story he gave me. So then, boom, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna just fight my case. I wasn't driving. I'm not gonna admit to nothing. So, and I'm not gonna tell nobody, because that's just not my style. Like I said, when they were asking me who was driving, I don't know. I don't remember, you know. So with me being how I was and mentally, like, I'm not gonna tell on them, because if I catch them, I'm gonna do them down bad. But anyways, that never happened. But so boom, they giving me, you know, my trial took 3 years. Literally 3 years before they can even offer me a plea, because they didn't have nothing. But when I'm going through my trial, comes time for I pick the jury and everything, I was ready. My lawyer hits me with, yo, they got 3 witnesses, written statements, and they're gonna testify saying that you was driving. I'm like, what? So I'm like, I get the paperwork to see who the witnesses are. And the dude who brought me to that bar was on there as a witness, willing to testify, saying he seen me leave the club. But this whole time you wasn't even there, right? But him, one of his boys from the club, the bouncer, and then some female, I don't even know, probably one of his friends, wrote statements saying that they seen me leave the bar in the car driving. So with that information, my lawyer was like, yo, they're gonna convict you. And they're gonna stack your charges. Like, you're gonna get the maximum amount. If you take it to trial and lose, you're gonna get the maximum amount for each charge. That's 37 years. He was like, let me talk to them, see what I could come up with, and hopefully, you know, I get you a deal. So here's the deal he came up with. He comes back to me, he's like, yo, they're offering 15, serve 14, 1 year on probation. I'm like, what? What kind of deal is that? So, you know, a lawyer being a lawyer, he's like, man, listen, take this deal. This is the best deal they're gonna give you. If you don't take this 15, you're gonna end up doing 37. You're gonna do 20 something years in prison before they let you out. Take this 15, you'll end up doing probably 8 with good behavior. You'll be out in 8 instead of 20 something. It's way better. Just take the deal, man, because you got the witnesses, blah, blah, blah. So me, I pled out. I took the deal. But I took the deal under South Carolina or North Carolina versus Alfred. It was one of the Carolinas versus Alfred, which basically says I'm only saying I'm guilty because of the evidence that's against me, not that I remember everything or I admit to the situation or the charges. I'm only accepting it because of the evidence. I'm not admitting guilt. I think that's what it was. So yeah, that's what they gave me, and then, you know, I accepted it. I had a day to sit in the hotel by myself and just do nothing. Had some Burger King. Next day, I go back to court, accept the plea, and they sent me to the county jail, and I started my bid. September 5th, 2009 was the day I accepted my plea and went to jail. So stay tuned, man. It's gonna be more, you know, I'm gonna have now it's gonna get interesting because I gave you a little bit of street life, gave you a little bit of corrections. If there's any questions about the street life, please feel free to comment. I will respond. If there's any questions about being a correctional officer in situations, I probably didn't put every situation, but if you got any questions about that, please feel free to ask questions, comment. I'll definitely respond and respond honestly. Like, I'm not lying about nothing. I'm not holding nothing back. This is what it is. And then now I'm gonna get into me when I went to jail, the time I spent in jail, then when I actually went to like reception and then got placed in my first prison and did all that. The whole time in, yeah, I'm gonna give you all of them stories, man. So yo, stay tuned. Interact, like, comment, subscribe to my stuff, you know, my pages. Like, this is my story, man, and it's a beautiful ride. So stay tuned, man. It's going down.